Count is going on. We're looking for some connection. It's a little loud there. Welcome in. All right, there we go. I had some connection issues. Oh. Right, now that we got our action connected. Took a second here. Mercury's not retrograde or nothing. Welcome, come on in. Just dropping in, trying to build some momentum. Been going on live on Tuesdays, but time to turn it up. Hello, welcome in. I see LD. Oh, I have my glasses. Hi, welcome in. I'm gonna do some drawing, some intuitive art here. So 4, 3, 2, 1, get up on the spaceship. Come on in. Drifting, falling, floating, weightless, coming, humming, home. Who remembers this one? Put a little heart in there. Put a little, I don't know, there's something in there. You know this song? Come on in. I'm gonna do a little intuitive scrying reading. Nothing more. Come on in. Hi, if you haven't been here before, I'm Mandala Fly. I'm an artist. And I do all the, the tarot and the astrology and that kind of stuff. I've been doing it for a while, studying traditions of the world and bringing it to you through my intuitive drawings. So, welcome. I'm building some community. I'm working on building some community. If you are an artist, say so. If you're an artist, say so. If you are a Reiki healer, say so. If you are an intuitive, say so. Please feel free to drop in and say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. I don't care. Tell me what's your sign, babe? I'm here to build community. Been going live for just a little while. I'm turning up the heat on the lives because I'm having a blast. Doing these drawings have been a blast. Let me give you a little preview. This is what happened last night. I was doing some coming home. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. This is what was happening last night. This might look like a scribbly mess, and but this is how Spirit speaks to me and through me. And this one, I was asking about this gateway, the Samhain cross quarter. All Saints Day, Day of the Dead gateway that we're going through. And as we're walking through this gateway, we are also switching some planets, switching signs. So this one, what came up in last night's drawing, really had everything to do with our ancient past. And they were talking to us about the Aboriginal information. We got this up here was like images from the caves at Lascaux. What came through there. I got a feather over here that also looks like a knife. This little Aboriginal, they told me this was an Aboriginal being. This was all about past lives. This is about tapping into our information, our past lives. The little spirit guide, see the little spiral coming off the head. This was telling me Akashic records. See this little animal right here, little deer action. This was like a little horse. And then there's this is kind of a moon face creature that shows up in quite a bit of my stuff. So this was about like the Southwest. This was like a desert energy. And really tapping into ancient and old past things. So this was last night's drawing. So if you want to stick around for a little while, we're going to create a new one for today. Oh, weird. Okay. Oh, what just happened outside? That was weird. Sounded very loud. Hope everybody's okay. Anyway, squirrel. Let me flip this back around here. flip it back here and we'll do a little preview, pre-funk, pre-hosting. Hi, thank you for the likes. Thank you. Appreciate the likes. I'm building momentum. I haven't been doing lives for very long. And I've only got, I think last night like 300 people dropped in. So please stick around for a minute. Stick around for longer than a minute. I'll try and keep it interesting. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, about who I am, what the hell I'm doing, what do I know? If you have any questions, you want me to pull a card, I actually have a goal of 25 lightnings, and the person that hits the 25th lightning bolt, I'm going to pull a card for you. So feel free to load me up with that. I am not only I'm building my rankings, so I'm like in the D level. I'm like way down there at the bottom because I have only been going live for like every week. Sometimes I pop on in between. But again, I'm just like trying to get a little more momentum built in between I'm literally working like 3 or 4 jobs right now, so and trying to make a go at this. So help help me. I don't mean to beg, and I do want to encourage us all to be in community, because this app also works like that. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people talking about the app and how it affects you when you just pop on and you scroll, and you're not really paying attention to anything and just seeing what's up. It affects your account and your reach, and when you just scroll past what we're doing, it affects our reach, and we need each other. So feel free to drop a comment. Please drop comments. I need a little engagement. Please say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me did you find me on the FYP page. That's where I'm getting a lot of traffic right now, because I also don't have a ton of followers. And I'm, we're building a remedy. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card. First of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about the astrology, just real quickly. We're coming up on the new moon on Friday. Naturally, tomorrow we have Samhain, we have Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and that being a cross quarter. Y'all know about cross quarters. Tell me in the comments if you are familiar with the concept of the equinox, the solstice, and the cross quarters, because Samhain, Halloween, we're at that point right between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. We are right there in the middle. Halloween. And it's a great big compass point in our 365.4 day of the year. It's also, the land of Scorpio, the land of death, birth, and transformation and reincarnation. We are at the point where we are diving in the northern hemisphere into the darkest part of the year. So headed towards that deepest, darkest winter solstice where, you know how this game is played. We got the cycle going on, right? If you're a sky watcher, put a little star in the comments. If you are a fellow astrology, like that stuff, I guess you wouldn't be here if you weren't. So, so stick around. I see a bunch of you up in the room. Thank you so much for watching. Patty, I see Patty. I see K-Fran. I see Leanne. I see Jax. Come on in. Christy Morris. Cheeky girl, come on in. I've seen a few of you before. Thank you for showing up again. Thank you for popping in on my live. While I was doing that, a couple of cards just popped out. Oh, and these can't be more appropriate. So the first card that popped out was, this is my Golden Dawn deck. The first card that popped out is the Sun. So here we're talking about the Sun in Scorpio. We're talking about the movement of the Sun moving towards the darkness, moving down into the depths of the year. Days are shorter and shorter and shorter, and we've got the Sun showing up. And clearly this card is one of joy and of, you know, beauty, the sun, the life-giving force, energy, and all of that. And then it was upside down, but the other card that popped out was the death card, which makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Who doesn't think that makes all the sense in the world if we're doing a reading about Halloween and All Saints Day and Day of the Dead, that actually this card would show up. I don't make this stuff up. It just happens. And so this is the energy, and the sun and the death card. Death is always going to be an ending, but it's always also a beginning. Got the alpha and the omega, and really this looks like the alpha and the omega to me. And I love how this comes upside down. This looks like these spirit guides. So if you're looking at it right side up, the way that this card comes in right side up, there's like a little fish on a little dinner plate over here in spirit space. There's a little like I don't know, UFO, a little craft over here, and then there's all these beings down here. And then as this came up, it actually came up this way, so they're all above us. This one even looks like it's got a halo. And you know, you're thinking about spirit. I just was talking to some people about spirit, and if you're thinking about spirit and where spirit dwells, and we're all like conditioned to the idea that, you know, spirit's up in heaven and heaven's way out there and all that. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit runs through us like a river. Spirit is right here. You know, we've got our guardians and our guides and all of those things. How many of you are tuned into your spirit animals, your spirit guides, your spirit beings? Please feel free to pop a comment in. Do you know the name of your guides? Do you know what type of guide you have? Any angelic influences? Any guardian angels? Any guardian, you know, animals, guardians? Pop that in the comments. Tell me, say hi to me. Say hi to me. So the reading that I'm doing too, I was really like feeling the space vibe. I got my little space kitty on. Meow, 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 meow. I got my little space pendant on, a little dichroic hand-blown glass pendant from a dear friend of mine. We got the space makeup on for that pre-Halloween pre-funk. And again, I wanted to just mention that today, being 2 days before the new moon, this is the darkest that the moon gets. We're moving into the darkest that the sun gets, the shortest days of the year in the northern hemisphere. We are moving into, we've got everything in, you know, sun in Scorpio, Mercury's in Scorpio. But we're going to, on the first new moon in Scorpio, on the second we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. So Mercury, the planet of communication, of short distance travel, of energy, of like conversation, of cocktail parties, that's moving from Scorpio, where it is right now, into Sagittarius, which will lighten things up a bunch. And that will happen on Saturday, which is November 2nd, which also happens to be the Day of the Dead. So they're showing us this really thin veil. We've all heard that before. The veil is thin right here at this time of year, and that why we celebrate this holiday at this time. And Sagittarius is about higher learning. So Mercury is communication on a like cocktail party level. It's about short distance travel. It rules Gemini, it rules Virgo. But Sagittarius is taking it to the higher level. It's taking it to the philosophical level. It's taking it to the long distance and higher education and to that spiritual energy level. So as we're talking and walking through this portal, we're really, really talking about and to our spirit guides. It's a really great time to tune in, right? So, yay, let's do it. So I'm going to tune in right now. The way that I go about the scrying reading is that I take a little blank piece of paper. And for those of you just joining, I'm just going to flip this around one more time. For the this is what was happening last night in the live. this drawing, this is how spirit speaks to and through me. I laid down the orange first, and then the brown, and then a little bit of black over it, and then just stare at it like it's a cloud, and see what's going on in the field. And as I'm going along, you'll hear me interpreting the images that are coming through. And I have a pretty solid background in astrology and tarot, in a lot of the animal spirit speaks, in a lot of different world traditions. I've been studying this for over 40 years now. I'm old. I've been on the planet for a while, more than once. And so you will hear, sometimes I'll be speaking through the spirit guide will speak through me. Sometimes it will just come through this picture. If you see something, if you as a viewer see things as I'm doing this and you want to point something out, like I had somebody the other night be like, okay, I see this, what was it? Somebody the other night said that they saw, it was a fish. Okay, so they were looking at, and so I was like, okay, is it over here? And I found it, and we brought it out, and we had a nice little conversation about what that was about. That's what this is all about. This is just not just me telling you what's going on. I really want to develop a relationship and a communication with the community. So please feel free. Don't be shy. I used to be. I'm over it. Didn't do me any good. So I'm going to turn my paper around. I always like to leave a blank page in between for notes. Bear with me. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to get to that blank piece of paper. There we go. Here we go. And intuitively, what I am feeling right now tonight is really connected to space, is really connected to the cosmos, is really connected to the galactics, and not just the spirit, but to the galactic energy. If you, as I'm laying this out, if intuitive energies, if something comes to you, please feel free to put it in the comments. I will tell you, I don't have a moderator, and I am going to be not in trance. Well, yeah. And I will be in the spirit space. So if I miss a comment or I miss something, please feel free to say it again. But I will try to address whatever it is that you want. And again, if you I'm collecting lightning bolts. If you want to throw down, if you like what you see, you want to throw down some lightning bolts. Whenever I hit the 25th lightning bolt, I will pull a card. So first thing I'm going to do, the first color I was drawn to draw with was actually pink. I was feeling this like really cosmic, pink, beautiful portal almost energy. So I'll lay that down in the background. Sometimes I'll start from light to dark, usually, the lighter colors in the background. And then I'm feeling like this orange. I'm inspired by what's going on my shirt. So if you're just joining me, I'm also flip that. Here's what's happening. La la. Wait. Space kitty. Meow, 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 meow. And so I'm kind of laying that kind of thing down over here. Oh, are you picking up what I'm laying down? Got this orange here. And you might start seeing, I'm already starting to see, like areas of interest, I like to call it. Areas where beings might be showing through. I see someone going in here. See a little couple of heads right there. See something going on in this area. This looks like a little animal. Oh, yep. Little animal kind of thing going on here. If you see something you're inspired to throw down a little comment, please do. Please do. I want to just be talking to an empty room, That's not why we go live. If I wanted to talk to an empty room, I'd be right here in this crazy little sanctuary I've built for myself. Believe me, I've spent plenty of alone time in my room. You can probably tell. Okay, so this little violet action going on here. To leave some... okay. Okay, I see. You see these guys showing up? You see this face right here? See something going on over here? It's also fun because I can see through the camera as well as on the paper, and it gives me another dimension of what's happening. So there we go. What's happening here? All right. A little bluey blue. Am I blue? That's why I'm not on The Voice. You're welcome. And a little dark blue. If you have any questions, if you're just coming in, what's going on here? I'm scrying. I'm drawing a field of dream field. This is like my little cloud base here. I'm just gonna smooge a little as I see fit. This just really is coming through from intuitively guided where my hand decides to go. But this is a collective reading about really the next 3 days. Last night I really got a lot of ancestral information in the drawing, but tonight I was like, I'm actually asking to connect with the Galactics, to connect with that star being energy. Want to hear a cool story? Who wants to hear a cool story? Feel free to say so. Who doesn't want to hear a cool story? I'm going to tell it anyway. Once upon a time, about, I don't know, Earth years, 10 years ago, I was doing some work with a woman who we were both energy healers. We both are still energy healers. I'm a Karuna Holy Fire Reiki Master for almost 30 years now. And she also has a lot of Reiki, a lot of, the traditions pour in. I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm an energy healer. I've got a lot of practice. So her name was Jelana Lucier. Lucier meaning light. And Jelana and I used to trade sessions every week. I would go over to her studio, and she would do, 1 week it would be she would get on the table and I would do work on her, and the other week vice versa. So this particular week, she was very instrumental. You guys want to hear about contacting your spirit guides? She was very instrumental in helping me really understand about how to connect with the spirit guides. And one of the biggest things that I think we all that we all have trouble with, especially when we're first starting out as a healer, is that we want to know our guides, and we want to see all these things. We want to see these beings in full spectrum technicolor. I want them to boom, show up in front of me. And honestly, that sometimes you do. Sometimes you'll be looking in the room, and all of a sudden you will definitely see somebody in the room, especially with practice. But in the beginning, we're just kind of guessing sometimes, and it feels like we're guessing, and confirmation is sometimes a little hard. Also, we're impatient. I know for myself, I've been very impatient at times in my life, many times in my life. How about you? I want an Oompa Loompa and a spirit guide now, Daddy. And so it's I call out the spirit guides. You call out the spirit guides, and it's oh, nobody's showing up. nobody loves me. My spirit guides are not here. And they're here all the time. They're just like waiting for the invitation. So then all of a sudden you're like, okay, let me invite them in. And so Jelana was teaching me like about inviting them in. And so you get down and you stop and say, hey, I'm in prayer. I want to call in my guides. I want to ask for the love and the light to come in and surround me and connect me with the beings of light and love. I want anybody that comes into this session, into this spirit session right here, and anybody that comes into our energy healing sessions. And by the way, this is also an energy healing. So if you stick around, you will get a little boosties. But I want only pure energy. I want the beings who come in to be of highest and best interest for all involved. And I want to be able to connect with and understand and know my spirit guides. So we would do this prayer. We would call in our spirit guides. And the first time we did it, it was like, called in the spirit guides. And then she just stopped me and she was like, okay, who's here? And I was like, oh, right. We called them in, but like, who are they? So we stopped and she's like, all you've got to do is, ask like, who is here? And you might close your eyes and see images of, and sometimes it's trite. Sometimes it feels like very trite. Sometimes it feels like, oh yeah, of course, there's this big angel. And sometimes, I see Ganesh a lot. Ganesh, the Hindu god, the elephant god. I will see, beings like Merlin or King Arthur, or I might see a fish or Dagon the fish god or whatever. You're asking your guides to show up and now naming them and finding out who shows up. And as you practice more and more with it, you will see, sometimes you'll sense the same guides showing up. Sometimes you'll sense new ones, or you can ask specifically. So here I am. I'm at her house. I'm at this other healer's house, and we're getting ready to do a session, and I'm going to work on her. And she asks me, what do you know? And for those of you just joining this live, we were talking about intergalactic. I'm asking tonight in this session right here about galactic energy and galactic information and, our guides from the cosmos and not necessarily so much spirit. Yes, spirit, but guides from intergalactic time. And so here I was with Jelana, and she's like, what do you know about the Arcturians? And if you're here in my room right now and you're listening to this, are there any of you that are familiar with the Arcturian energy, with working with galactic energy or spirit energy like that? Wow. Sorry, it just started pouring rain. Interesting. All right, squirrel. But are you familiar with working with galactics, with Arcturians, with Pleiadians, with those kind of beings? She asked me that, and she's like, what do you know about the Arcturians? And I was like, I have no idea. I have no clue. I said, well, what do you know about the Arcturians? And she said, I don't know. Let's go see. And so she's getting ready. She gets on the table. She's laying down to get a energy session. And I call in and I ask the Arcturians specifically to come in. And as I'm working on her, I see, I got my hands over her body, and I'm like kind of doing this along her abdomen, and I'm kind of like right over her liver area. And I said, oh, huh, I'm seeing this orb. And I'm seeing this energy ball, and it's purple and it's pink and it's got this green triangle in the center of it. And I'm seeing this in her, like above her body. I'm seeing this like thing, this orb above her body. And it's like this. And it's got this pyramid inside of it. And wherever the pyramid was touching the edges of the orb, there was like, the orb was violet. The pyramid inside was green, and then where it touched this triangle or this orb was these pink orbs like this. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm seeing this orb, right? And then I'm working some more, and I'm over her body, and I'm working with my hands, and I'm calling in the healing energies, and I'm working with the Arcturians, and they showed me about another one. They showed me another orb. And this one was like blue. Oh. This one was a blue orb, and it was floating more over her abdomen, like in her intestinal area. And this one had like again with the green pyramid, but the pyramid was upside down. And so it was making this upside down triangle like this. And I said, oh, I see this same thing, but the pyramid is upside down. And I said, and they're telling me, and by they, I mean, the spirit, the Arcturians, I guess. I don't guess, I know now. They said, this is a grail. And this was before I saw Da Vinci Code. So they were showing me this grail, and they said, okay, so this grail also had these orbs where the points touched the outer orb, like this. And it was iridescent and shimmery, beautiful. And these were kind of floating, so they weren't static at all. They were just kind of hovering over her in these different spots. And I probably saw 6 or 7 during this healing session, and maybe 4 of them were the regular pyramids like this, and then the other 3, there were at least 3 of them that, again, they kept telling me this is a grail. And I was like, okay, and we were doing the work in the session, and other things are coming up, and I got some other intuition about the Arcturians, and we finished up the session and sat down and thanked our guides for being there and thanked the Arcturians for showing up. And she said, oh, do you tell me what you intuited about the Arcturians? And she said, what are they like? And I said, well, they seemed very tall. Thank you for sending me a gift. Oh, hi, Angela. Hello. Welcome, Angela. Thank you. It's great to see you here. I was just explaining this little healing session that I had where I met the Arcturians. And, when this sounds like crazy talk, when this sounds like whatever's going on, hello? This right here, I'm talking to her about the Arcturians, and then I said, oh, I see them as very tall and thin. They're pretty quiet. They don't really say a lot. They're kind of clinical. And she said, do they have a sense of humor? And I was like, yeah. Actually, at first I said no. And I was like, no. Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Um, First they said no, they don't have a sense of humor. And then I was like, wait, actually, they do. They have a really dry sense of humor. They're very clinical, but they're also a little funny. So these Arcturians, and I didn't know anything really about them, but I left Jelana's house and I went to back home and I was on my computer. And this is like 2008 or so. This is, 15, 20 years, almost 20 years ago. And I get home and I'm sitting on my computer and I'm getting um, ready to write a blog post or something. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm going to I'm going to go write a letter to my friend. I was going to write an analog letter to a friend of mine. And I went into my filing cabinet, which is sitting behind my computer. And I reach in and I find this, I'm looking for a piece of paper. I'm scribbling through there. And I find this piece of paper, or like 4 or 5 pieces of paper that I printed out a while back. And it was, they had these images on them and they were these mandala images. And it was from this guy named Janosh. And if anybody is familiar with Janosh, he's an artist. I think he's Dutch, and he does these computer generated or these computer drawings of these like mandalas, and they're based on crop circles, and they have each one of these says like frequency or vibration or healing or energy or whatever. Each one of his drawings has a different specific purpose. And so these sheets of paper had this information on it. Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate you sticking around for a bit. And if I don't see comments immediately, it's because I'm over here in my drawing wonderland. But okay, so back to Janosh. So I see this Janosh art, and as I see this, I unfold this piece of paper and I see these mandala images. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was what I was seeing in the healing session that I was doing with Jelana, and it was associated with the Arcturians. Oh my God, this is crazy. And so the piece of paper was all mangled and whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go print it out, right? And remember, this is like a couple of hours after she asked me to find out more about the Arcturians. So I go, just independently of that, I go to find the information from Janosh about these orbs because they look like what I had seen in the healing session. And I type in his website because it's at the bottom of these paper, and it says blah, 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 janosh.com. And I type it in. And what comes up on the screen is this website has been moved to www.arcturians.com. And I was like, are you flipping kidding me right now? No, of course not. Spirit works in mysterious ways. And Spirit was like literally spelling out what these orbs were about, what I was doing the healing with, that I was actually working with Arcturian energy, and that this was a real thing. And I went to the new page, the www.arcturians page, to find out more from Janosh about his orbs and his frequencies and things. And what it said was these were images that he was intuiting from crop circles, that he was bringing in from the information that were coming in from the crop circles that were created by the Arcturians. And also he had his original gallery full of his regular frequency mandalas, and he had a new gallery, and it was called the Grails. They were the Grails. And I know that was a bit of a long story. Maybe some of you missed some of it. Thank you for the lightning bolts. Thank you. Woo! But I had intuited those Grails in her session, and now here it was, like in living technicolor on the computer. And for those of you who are familiar with how spirit speaks through you, how when you ask a question, sometimes you have to wait a little bit. This was pretty immediate. This was a couple of hours later where they were like, yes, girl, you are working with the Arcturians, figure it out. And it's, again, it sounded like so weird to me, and now I'm like, doesn't sound weird at all. Now I know what you guys are like. I know what it feels like when you show up. I know what your sense of humor is like, and I know that you have a message for me. And I know that it is about frequency and vibration and leveling up and changing and shifting. The Arcturians, this very much works with sound, with tones, with the frequencies from what do you call it, binaural beats, but more like the 432 hertz frequencies and the 528 hertz frequencies, and all of those hertz frequencies. There's also sacred geometric sound. They're working with us in the sacred geometric sound bath. So we're being surrounded with the energies when we're working with the Arcturians. They want us to level up. There's a couple in Australia that they have these off-planet Arcturian healing beds. You can book a session and work with them and get bathed in these Arcturian energies. This is about raising the frequency of our bodies so that as we're moving, the frequency of the planet is rising as we can rise with it. We're not getting the sickness. I think maybe many of you see, we hear all the time about people as we're, tuning in these new frequencies, as we are clearing our bodies of our old habits, of our old, and that's very much what this part of the time of the year is about. With this Scorpio gateway we were going through, is to let go of some of those old habits, even more clean and clear, even more, I'm sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit, but this is what's going. It's a lot of information coming in right now. As we are cleaning and clearing, we also want to tune our frequency. The music that we're listening to. Listen to what you're listening to. Don't just have something on in the background that is bringing you down. Sometimes I think, if you go into any town in the United States and you can find your classic rock station, and you can probably find, like here in Eugene, I think we have 6 different classic rock stations. You can listen to the same old all the time. It's nice. It's fun. It's familiar. But is it raising your frequency, or is it holding you in a pattern? Sometimes I think we're purposely being held in these, patterns. What was going on in the 70s? For those of us who lived through the 70s, I was little. Hey, thank you, Angela. Thank you for sharing it to Anthony. Thank you, Angela. I really, really appreciate you sharing. I appreciate everybody that's here right now, and the gifts, and thank you. And I'll see you in the real world. I'll see you in 3D. I'm sure sooner than later, babe. Thank you for coming. Okay, so back to the drawing, back to the drawing board. So that's what I'm hearing from this Arcturian energy right now, is when we are listening to music, when we are choosing what's going on in the background in our lives right now and anytime, are we doing it out of habit? Is it keeping us in our old pattern? Is it keeping us in our old frequency? It's fun to go back there. Sometimes I mean, heck yeah, I'm gonna do the safety dance. I mean, that's 80s and stuff, but you know, I'm gonna get up and dance whenever I hear the safety dance come on. I'm gonna, you know, relive a memory or two of being teen disco queen. Yes, I am definitely dating myself right here, and that's just fine. I like myself. I'll date myself. I'll take myself on dates. But you know, are you taking the time to sit in silence? Are you taking the time to sit with your own thoughts and weed them out? Are you taking the time to listen to new music? To different music, to different frequencies. Thank you for liking the lives. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I totally appreciate the interaction and the likes and the comments. This is really helping me and helping me and you, because this works both ways for sure. What this being, for those of you just joining, if you're popping in and out, this is about the galactic energy. This is about the Arcturians in particular. The Arcturians are many associated with the crop circles. If you're not familiar with Janosh, the artist Janosh, Janosh, look it up. I'm not sure if his website is still at Arcturians.com or if he's changed it again. I've been following him since like 2005 or 6 when he was Janosh.com, and then he was www.arcturians.com. If you didn't hear that part of my story, it's a good one. I'm sure I'll tell it in a live again. But really about frequency. The Arcturian energies are working with our frequencies. The Arcturian energies are encouraging us. The Arcturian beings are encouraging us to watch your frequency, to breathe. You can tell I'm not breathing a lot right now. I'm breathing like I do. Ileana, it's great to see you here again. Thank you so much for joining me more than once. I totally appreciate it. I'm excited to get to know more about you too, about the work that you do and the things that you're doing here on the talk. And I'm really going to have a few times where I would like to carve out a time, actually, like maybe one of my lives during the week where I have guests on. So we can talk about all these fun things. What are your experiences with spirit guides? Who comes through for you? My work with the Arcturians comes through a session that I did with a healer friend of mine years ago, and she asked me, when calling in the guides, she asked me, you know, hey, do you want to work with the Arcturians? And I was like, oh, who's the Arcturians? And they showed up loud and clear, like crazy loud, crazy, both energetically, and then later on, like literally showed up on my computer. And Janosh, Janosh.com, he does these amazing meditations. He has these amazing decks of cards. He has these, just does these fantastic readings. He's got so much information for free. So much love, so much gifts for us, those of us who are like exploring the galactic side of the space, the mandala side of the space. And I highly encourage you to go there. This being right here, showing up in this drawing right here, this would be, for me, this being right here, showing up in this drawing right here, this would be, for me, this is an Arcturian. I called them out and asked them to show up. So here we are, and they're holding their little orbs. These, if you were watching me earlier, or as these were showing up, these came through in a healing that I was doing with a friend of mine. and have stayed with me. One of these orbs is this right here, this one here. Imagine this in 3 dimension. They just laughed at me. They're like, 3 dimensions, really? How about 5? At least. There's so many more dimensions than we're giving them credit for. So this little 3-dimensional orb has a pyramid inside of it, has this is popping out my 3D, 5D space. And then there's an orb here, an orb here. They're popping out of that main orb and connected. And this is all floating. Imagine this is all floating and moving in time and space. Thank you. Hello, Solo Cut Art. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking. Thank you for interacting. I really appreciate it. So this 3-dimensional orb, imagine this spinning in space, because this is just not a static image. None of these are going to be static images. That's why they look kind of, I'm sure. This orb came through in healing practice. This is about vibration. These orbs make sound. They are dynamic energy frequencies, and they are tuned to certain frequencies. So this one here, being this pink and green, they just told me this is a heart frequency. So that would be 432 is a little lower than that. When we got like into the 5s and 6s and 7s up here in this heart energy. So bringing in that that heart chakra, heart vibration energy through this particular frequency energy ball of light. Yeah, you feeling it? You feeling that heart energy coming at you? I am sending it. Bloop, 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 bloop. Thank you. You feel free to share that out. Send that heart energy out. Feel free to soak in it. This is infused with that spirit energy. These spirit beings, these spirit drawings are not static drawings. They're very much alive. This being is very much alive and coming through for you, for me, for this collective energy drawing. I've been tapping into the Galactic all day long. I think in part because we're experiencing this huge gateway, Samhain, the Halloween, this gateway tomorrow. We are in the darkest part of the moon. It is 2 days before the new moon, and it's the darkest part of the moon. I was actually born 2 days before the new moon, in the darkest part of the moon. We are spirit walkers. We are walking through time and space. We are walking through spiritual energy right here, right now. That is big. This is big, especially in the times we're at right now with, Pluto. You've all heard it. If you're here, you got this on your FYP page, or you follow me, then I know that you're one of our, spirit walkers, that you are probably dealing with a lot of healing energy. You're doing healings. You are gifted in the creativity. You're gifted in the spirit space. You know that Pluto, that has been in Capricorn, my sign, since 2008. Let me tell you, ain't been a walk in the park. But it's moving into Aquarius, which is more cosmic consciousness. That is part of the reason I'm sure this Arcturian energy is showing up tonight. For those of you who missed it earlier, I'm going to flip this around. We got the cosmic face. We got the cosmic kitty. Meow, 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 meow. Cosmic kitty. Meow. So it's inspired. I think that's where a lot of the color was coming from. Bloop. But also that I chose all of this because I'm just feeling that light, that light, that love, that joy, that the galactics are like, good Lord, you guys are finally rising to the occasion. We gave you this beautiful planet. And I know you guys have been bumbling around on it for how many years now? How many years do you think humanity's been on this planet? We seeded you to do this, and dirt. You learn a lot of stuff. You've learned a lot of stuff. How about we've learned what not to do? And now as we are learning that we are co-creators with God, with the spirit, with all of the energies of time and space. We are co-creating. We get to do this the way we want to do it. And we've learned enough about destruction and fear and pain and, and all of that. And now it is time to rise. It is time again. We have lived in harmonious times with this planet in the past, and we are coming back to it again. We are understanding our role as stewards, and I see it in so many places. And there's maybe so many people that might want to, they want us to hear the news, but this goes back to those radio frequencies. What are we tuning in on the radio? Are you watching the mainstream news? Are you watching what's the doom and gloom? Or are you seeking the like-minded folks, the beings who are coming in here and saying, not on my planet, folks. We are regenerative. We are creating regenerative systems, structures. I know people who are working with water in the most amazing ways. Look up kairospace.com. Look up the mushroom farm down in Southern California. It was a Campbell soup farm, a Campbell soup mushroom farm that is like 700 and some odd acres, that has been taken over, has been acquired by a not-for-profit who is teaching people about not just sustainable agriculture and things, but regenerative. What comes up out of it is going back into it. Look up star technologies. Oh, what are they called? Oh my gosh, it's a hydrogen technology, and it's a company out of Australia, and they can go into existing electric generation plants, and take out the coal and move the coal out of the way and get the coal fields out of there. They're dirty. They're not doing us any good. And they can put in these plates in the existing thing. They don't have to tear down the building. They just have to get rid of the coal field. They put this plate in. It's got a catalyst on it. It creates electricity with the hydrogen. The byproduct is water. They can desalinate water off the backside of this. Star technology. This is all coming in from off planet even. This is all coming in from the star beings who are here to help us change our trajectory. And that's what we're talking about here. These Arcturians want us to get it, want us to figure it out. You see this little crystal over here? I got this little cobalt. Cobalt, that makes sense. Cobalt is a fantastic energy. If you want to raise your vibration, drink out of a cobalt glass. Put your water in a cobalt glass, or a glass container, and put it in the sun. The sun going through that cobalt glass changes the frequency of that water into and kills bacteria. I know I'm kind of all over the place. This is how spirit works through. If you join me and you come back, and I may be looping a little bit, there's a lot coming through. I asked for galactic information, and here we are. So these guys, they got a lot to say. They're really hammering it in tonight. So thank you for being here and thank you for listening. What is coming through here? These are very crystalline structures right here. I'm seeing some crystals. I'm seeing some prisms. That makes sense. We're going into that energy of the crystals. Your body is a crystal. Our body is a crystal. If it's not been cleared, then we're getting muddy information. If we're not clearing our crystals, we are getting, that's where density happens. Where density happens and inflammation happens. Where density and inflammation happen, disease happens. Dis-ease. What is ease? What does it feel like to be at ease in our body? What does it feel like when we have ease of mind, ease of body, ease of soul, ease of frequency? What is it happens when we ease into our lives rather than forcing our lives to become what is becoming? That's the questions that these beings are asking us right here. So it's coming through right now. They're like, what would it take to make your life easy? What does it feel like when your life is easy? Is your life easy? Do you know what it would take? Do you want to have not easy in the form of laziness? What if you eased into your passion? What if you eased into your life's purpose? What if you eased into, what does that feel like? That's where we need to go. That's where we need to go. We need to be, we were programmed. You were programmed. I don't like that word so much, in this use of it. We chose our mission. We were downloaded with the instructions for our mission. And in many ways, those information can get really muddled by information that we get from systems that are not our own, from guidance that is not coming from within or in touch with our own spirit. We're listening to other people's ideas of who we should be, and that's gotta go. You intrinsically, we are God. We are pure spirit. We are pure light. We are pure, colorful, amazing, quantum beings. And we are blessed beyond measure. Sometimes I think Marianne Williamson is the one that said about us not being afraid of a failure, but of our own greatness. What would it feel like if we were not afraid of our own greatness? What would it feel like if you were stepping in to your own abilities and possibilities and greatness? How do you co-create with your guides, with your beings, with your light, with your love, with the divine spirit, with the, oops, I gotta do a little, drag my puzzle piece into place. Okay. All right. Had to do a little, hi, thank you for liking. Oh, hi, is that Cheryl? Hi. Hi, honey. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. I'm working with the Arcturians. You see them? Oh, I seen them. Hi, honey. It's great to see you here. Thank you. And thank you for interacting. You are one of the best engagers on the planet, girl. I love you. And this is some of my little paybacks for your trips to Delphi. For those of you in the audience, my little girl, this one that just showed up has some of the most divine connection I have ever met, ever met. I am just thrilled to the gills that she's here. That your little giraffe smiley face. I am excited to see you, baby. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. All right. So what I was talking about here, I was calling in the galactic energy and the Pleiadians, but more the Arcturians. I really asked for the Arcturians to show up. So this being here, is bringing in the orbs of frequency and vibration. This is a grail. This is an orb. This is heart chakra. They're showing me heart chakra with that pink and green. This one's the green and orange, this green and orange here. So this one's a little lower. This one I'm seeing under the heart, like as in third chakra area, but really like even down into the second. So 2, 3, and 4, Anahata and Svadhisthana and was that Muladhara? No, Manipura chakra. But also, so what vibrational energy goes with that? That's bringing this in heart and solar plexus and sacral chakra right here. This one right here is very interesting to me. I'm seeing this like blue, this little indigo action right here, but then I'm also seeing somebody like right in here, like a okay. Little reflection of somebody here. And this little indigo light, little third and crown, this vibration right here, coming in hot. And then one right here. How are we looking out there, kiddios? Welcome in. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Cindy. Welcome in. What do you got? Michio? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Come on in. So this Arcturian energy is calling on us to really look at what we're listening to. Oh, that's funny. To really pay attention to what we're listening to, what we are taking in through our ears, through our throat. What are we talking about? What are we singing? What is it that is drawing your attention? What is it that is, what kind of noise is in your environment? Noise. That one, who knows what I'm talking about there? Noise. $15, little man. Oh my goodness. That's the kind of vibration that they're talking about. They're like, you guys, that's some low vibration right there. We're talking about some, well, I don't know, medicine. We're talking about medicine. Right here, they're showing me water. They're showing me a cup. They're showing, and that goes right along with what I was getting here with the cobalt. We were talking about it. Cheryl, my little giraffe over here, she knows what I'm talking about. That cobalt blue glass, drinking water out of a cobalt blue glass, putting that glass in the sun, killing the bacteria. The sun will kill the bacteria because that vibration of that cobalt blue glass can help to raise the vibration beyond what a bacteria and contaminants can live in. So that going on. These little ships, they're little boats. It's a little paper boat they're showing me. They're showing me paper boats and lanterns. They're showing me those kind of prayers, that kind of prayer. They're showing me right here, really that violet, that cobalt blue energy. They're talking to me about the energy. I'm hearing about energy of cobalt. It's interesting because cobalt as a mineral is pink, but when you fire it and heat it up, it turns that cobalt blue. So they're talking about that alchemical process, and they're telling us that with these vibrations, when you tune into that hertz music, that 432 hertz, that 728 hertz, that 1136 hertz, all of those, the 369s, all of that, when you're tuning into that, they're talking about tuning the water in your body to those frequencies. Everything that you're listening to is tuning the water in your body to that frequency. If you're listening to bullshit, you're gonna feel like bullshit. If you're listening to, and I don't think you have to listen to, Gayoto monks all the time, or you don't have to listen to, violin concertos all the time. But just be aware of how often you fall back into your old patterns. I love listening to music from my misspent youth. I love punk rock. I adore it. Sometimes I really need that vibration to, shake the woogs out. But then also, like, what are we placing in our field? Are we bringing in new energies, new ideas, new frequencies? If we're stuck in the rut, how can we change that? One of the fastest ways to change it is change the music, tune into something else that you're not used to. You may not even like it at first. It's just like tasting a new thing. It's just like when you give a child, when you're teaching them how to, eat new things, you have to introduce some things like 3 times before they recognize the flavor of it. First, they're going to like turn it down because they don't recognize it. And same thing happens with sound and vibration. You may not like it because it's not what you're used to. But if you want anything to change, it's one of the fastest ways to change anything. So that's just a little galactic sound advice. And I'm sensing from the Arcturians happening here. All right. So hi, I see you guys showing up. I see people coming in and stopping by. I am getting pretty close to done with this session here. Looks like I've been on. Looks like I've been on for a while. Yay! Definitely been on for longer than an hour, which was my goal. Let me just do a little defining in here. Get out my pencils. Do a little of this. Does anyone have any questions or anything that you would like to know more about? Is there anything jumping out at you from this drawing? I'm sorry if I missed any comments or anything while we were going here. I do get involved in the process of it, and I don't have a moderator or anything, so I'm just trying to keep up with. Good thing I have a multi-dimensional system going on here. But yeah, if you have made a comment or liked something and I didn't acknowledge you, I apologize. And if you do want to know anything or you want me to pull a card for you, I'm happy to do that too. But right here, this Artie the Arcturian, this is Arcturian energy. This is about frequency and vibration. This is tapping into the liftoff. This is tapping into what they reminded me is about the energy of Hertz music, of especially as we move through this portal. We've got the new moon, which doesn't always happen on All Saints Day, but it does this year. We have what was it? Mercury changing signs on Saturday. We have Mars changing signs on Sunday. So we have some pretty big aspects, pretty big things going on. And it may be a little turbulent. It may even feel a little turbulent with all of that activity. But your job, our job as beings of light, as human crystalline, as we are raising our frequency, our job is to hold the space in the frequency of 0 point, of calm, of cool and collected. Whatever's going on around us, you know, it's like Mr. Rogers' mom said, wherever there's chaos, wherever there's turbulence, look for the helpers and be the helpers. We need you. We need us all. Or we wouldn't be here. Doing what we do. Bringing it through. All right. La 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 la. Hi, 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 hi. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for showing up. I am planning to go live even more. I've been going live on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. I'm on the West Coast, so 7 p.m. Pacific. If you want to join in, that is a time that I almost always try to, I haven't missed one yet since I started doing these in August. So there's that. But also randomly trying to go live. I do work day jobs. I work other jobs. I have a lot going on, so I'm not always able to do this. But I'm making more time and space for the things I want in my life. And this is something I want in my life. And you guys are also who I want in my life. Those of us who are on similar wavelengths, on the healing path, on the frequency path, frequenting each other's energies, engaging with each other, cheering each other on, helping each other thrive. That's what this is about. I like these little spots. This is fun. I could do this all day, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I'm gonna get hungry. Got hungry. All right. All right. Throw me a heart. Throw me a tap in if you're still here. I know a lot of people just come in for 1 minute and then leave. You scroll on by. If you're still here, give me a few taps on the screen. I would like to hit that. What I got? 359 right now. I would like to hit 500 hearts. All you gotta do is tap that screen. Frankie, only me, Helen, only me, Helen. That's interesting because one of the other people in here is also an only me. That's funny, but they're not a only you, Helen. Are you there yet? Are we there yet? 359. Come on. What do I need? 41. I need 141 hearts. Just tap, 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 tap. Help me out. Help a sister out. Is there anybody in there? Are we out there? Are we out there? Are we there yet? We're almost there. Only 141 more taps on the screen. Come on. Do it. Do it for the collective. Do it because you can. It doesn't hurt. Well, it might not even break a nail. Okay. All right. Well, if no one's here, since no one's watching anyway, I'm going to get out of here. After this, little spotty spot. This little spotty spot. Do. There we go. The Arcturians have spoken. We'll put a little 10, 30. There we go. There we go. Here we are. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me here. I really appreciate. Grateful to have this platform to be able to do this and to have anybody stopping by and watching. So thank you. Have a great night. Happy Halloween. I'm coming back for more. Thank you for joining me. I am over and out. Me and the Arcturians. Actually, let me turn around. Turn around. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I thank our beings of light. I thank the Arcturians for showing up for this session. I thank my guides and all of the teachings and teachers that I've had in the past, present, and future. And I really appreciate the energies that go into this and the energies of you watching. So looks like they're notifying more viewers that I'm live and I'm about to sign out. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back, so keep an eye out. Mandala Fly, over and out. Mandala Fly and the Arcturians, over and out.